Fleury coming off this year with Lincecum and um,
Vogelsong.
yep, and who's their other guy? Tim Hudson retiring.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking to sign Mike Leake. And then, of course, they still have Bumgarner and Matt Cain, who will be another year removed from his injury, but still hasn't really gotten it back since he's been injured. But if Matt Cain comes back strong, Mike Leake is kind of a serviceable sort of number 3 guy, although he's not in the same class. So the Giants, I think will definitely be in the mix for either David Price or for Zach Greinke. If they get either one of those pitchers, that'll be a scary team too.
Yeah.
And how about in our division, Jamie? So Mattingly's been hired by the Marlins. How do you like the Marlins for next year?
I think their owner is. They're not gonna win under their owner. He's like so rushed. It's like 1 year they're rebuilding, the next they're not, the next year they are. That organization is a big mess. Like, of course, the Nationals signed Dusty Baker after everyone thought they would sign Bud Black. Apparently they lowballed him, so he got mad and they ended up signing Dusty Baker.
Yeah, and we'll see how Dusty handles the pitching staff in particular. I think Dusty is seen as really good with veteran players, and given the Nationals' potentially explosive dugout, which blew up at the end of last year, I think that's a good thing for them. Dusty has 2 weaknesses. One is postseason. He manages each postseason game just like a regular season game without the sense of urgency. So I think his in-game calls during the postseason have cost his teams in the past. And the other is how he handles young players on his team, particularly the pitching staff. So he either doesn't play the young players or he rides his young pitchers too much. And, I think the biggest example of that is probably someone like Matt Pryor on the Cubs, who had a stellar rookie season but was pitched far too many innings than a normal rookie does, and he's been ineffective ever since that stellar year. So we'll see how Dusty handles Strasburg, who's admittedly not a young rookie anymore, but still, up and coming in his prime. The Phillies, I think, will still be a mess.
Yep.
The Braves are still be rebuilding, but it doesn't look like they're going to break out anytime soon. In fact, I think I've seen some guys who are predicting the Braves and the Phillies to be the 2 worst teams in the league. But of course, some of those same people didn't predict that the Mets would be much more than a 500 team this year. So you never know. But it does look like the Mets will be again fighting with the Nationals for supremacy in the East. And I don't know. Well, the Marlins have 2 of the best players in the league. They've got Giancarlo Stanton and Jose Fernandez, both who have been pretty injury prone through their short careers. So we'll see how that happens. What happens with them if they have full years together? We'll see.
Well, yep. So it's gonna be a pretty interesting off season.
So 2 players, Jamie, that I think that the Mets should look at who would fit them, but I don't know if they'll be gettable. One is Ben Zobrist, the former Met, who has one of the most.
Ben Zobrist was a Met.
Yeah, wasn't he a Met?
He was a Tampa Bay Ray.
Yeah, but before that, wasn't he a Met?
No.
In the farm system? No.
Really? He was?
Maybe not. He has one of the highest WARs though, amongst active players. And he can play all over the diamond.
Yeah, he was always with the Rays. He's never with the Mets.
Oh, okay.
He's like a very similar player to Daniel Murphy, just a little older.
Except that he's much better
defensively.
So he's like a Murph who's a really good defender. But yeah, similar to Murph, he doesn't strike out a lot. He's a contact hitter. He's got a bit of power. Smart player. So he could be a good fit at second if the Mets want a little bit of time to develop or some insurance for Herrera. Plus, Zobrist. If Herrera develops, Zobrist doesn't have to play second. He can play anywhere. So he could be a good fit.
Mhm.
Martin Prado. How about him, Jamie?
I think the Marlins are gonna try to re-sign him.
He's always killed the Mets
Mhm.
in big situations.
He can be good insurance for David Wright also.
Yeah. So if we don't keep Uribe or Johnson, then Martin Prado would be an even better alternative, I think. Though we're probably likely to keep Kelly Johnson because he can play multiple positions in the infield and he's a lefty bench off the bat, off the bench.
Uh-huh.
So
We'll
I think
see
he's probably the most likely that we'll keep.
see how that plays out.
Mm.
And then that being said, of course, once baseball enters its off season, basketball season starts. Just early.
You want to talk about basketball?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about basketball right now. Just how some early season stuff have been going on. Of course, Minnesota has been playing pretty well. The Hawks been doing really well again with Mike Budenholzer's great Spurs-oriented system. Dallas has been doing all right. They're 2-3.
I don't think anyone expected Dallas to be that in contention in the mix this year, though, huh? After failing after the whole debacle with DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah. I hate the Clippers now, but
I don't think anyone likes the Clippers, Jamie.
We'll see. Hawks have been playing great. So, well, the only undefeated team left are the Warriors, who, of course, Steph Curry has just been shooting threes at
prodigious pace. I think he's going to break the single season record easily.
He took 16 threes just in his last game. He took 16 threes, so he made 8 of them, but took 16 threes. So, we'll see how that plays out, and which kind of shows you how sort of the Knicks have been really fun to watch.
Oh, my new favorite player in the league.
Kristaps Porzingis.
This guy is amazing. You need to watch. Those of you who haven't seen this guy play, you got to watch a Knicks game. He's like a highlight reel. His putbacks are insane.
Yeah.
He's 7'3". He's got a good outside jump shot. He makes threes.
Well, Knicks fans were booing him. He looks like the next Dirk.
Yeah, I think he's like a cross between Dirk and AK-47. He's averaging better than a block and a steal per game. He's doubled in his last 3 games. So his typical line will be 1-3, 14 points, 14 boards, a steal, a block. Low turnovers. His one Achilles heel so far has been he's been getting a bunch of fouls called against him, but this typical of a rookie. But I think he's improved over the last couple games, so on that front. But he's certainly getting some more minutes now. He's getting the trust of the coaching staff, and the fans love him. He's a really exciting player to watch.
Yeah, after they booed him when the Knicks drafted him.
He's 20 years old. So we'll see. Hasn't really translated yet into a lot of Knicks victories. But there have been some pretty exciting games, and the Knicks have been competitive. So we'll see. I don't think the Knicks will make a serious run until they have a different type of star player. I think Carmelo kind of throws the rest of the team out of rhythm. But
so I was saying on our fantasy team that we have Anthony Davis. He just blocked a shot, hurt his foot on the landing.
Oh no, is he out of the game?
Yeah, they just called the timeout. He was limping.
Oh.
So we'll see how that goes.
Okay, that could be disastrous.
So
I think this year it looks like it's going to be the same teams again. The Warriors, the
Cavs,
the Spurs, maybe the Hawks.
Who else? The Bulls.
And the Bulls.
The Rockets.
I would say those are the teams to beat. The Rockets have looked really out of sync. Harden had a few terrible games to start the season, but he had a great game last time. See if he's back. They've still got a few players out. Terrence Jones, Monte Eunice are both out.
And Toronto's looking really strong also. Miami